All right, so this video is for Corey, who had replied to the video I created about engaging on your Facebook post and why it's really, really important to answer each comment that you get on your Facebook post. And he replied back asking a few questions, and I thought rather than typing it all out, I would just do a quick video response here. So he was asking whether or not auto responses are a good idea, and that Facebook tracks how quickly you respond to people, and whether or not it was a good idea to have auto response up in order to respond faster. And the first thing I want to address here is I don't believe that we're talking about the same thing. It sounds like from what Corey's saying, he's talking about messages. So if somebody messages you, you can do an auto response to that message, and then Facebook will track how quickly you respond to people. Now, I have had messages that I haven't responded to in forever. It's just like nonsense stuff. Facebook is like, hey, you haven't responded to this. And it has still said that I respond within 24 hours. Even like on a new page, I'll get some like crap on there and it'll just sit there. So when it comes to messages, yes, we want to respond pretty quickly because we want to hit our customer when they are most interested in our product. But it's not a necessity that you have to drop everything and respond to a message right away. You can set aside, just like with emails, a time or two during the day, especially if you're getting a lot of messages, where you sit down and you reply to messages. It does not have to be instant. Now, yes, it can help if you're having a chat back and forth with a customer that you're more quickly and you're more able to more quickly respond. I'm okay with auto responses when it comes to messages, as long as it's like, hey, a human is about to reply to you, right? Now, there are some higher tech ways of doing that. I know that Duncan has put together kind of like a, hey, do you want to talk via messenger, email, etc.? And there's buttons for each one of those things. That's a little bit more high tech. But if you just say, hey, thank you for sending us a message, we received it, we'll be back with you as soon as possible, I think that's perfectly fine. But I just want to be sure that we're talking about the same thing. Because again, my post was about engaging on comments that you're getting on your posts. And it seemed like Corey's question was more about replying to messages and how quickly. The part of that question was also, does Facebook suppress your posts if you don't answer quickly? Let's talk messages, and then we're going to talk posts. So on messages, no, they're not suppressing your post because of what you're doing in messages. It's not suppressing messages. It's really just an indication to the customer on the other side that this person is responsive. And then they feel safer that they can, not safer, but they feel better that if they send you a message, they can actually expect to get a message back in return. That's really all that's about. Facebook doesn't really penalize you for that. Again, I've had comments. We went a long time where Facebook, and they're still not doing it on this page, but we didn't realize it. Facebook won't put new messages in the inbox. They put them in the finished box. And so we weren't replying to messages at all. And they weren't really being marked as no response needed. And we're not penalized in any way for that. It's just the customer is going to see that this person takes a long time to respond. Now, when it comes to your Facebook posts, does Facebook penalize you if you do not respond to comments on your Facebook post and or don't respond to them quickly? Facebook doesn't necessarily penalize you. I think penalizing is the wrong word. What Facebook is looking for is back and forth conversations. They want to see a conversation happening. And they also see that the more comments a post has, the more popular it is, and it wants to push it out to more people. So if you wait to reply to your comments, Facebook doesn't penalize you for that, but all that extra juice you could get from replying kind of gets spread out, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So instead of like having 50 comments all at once, you're getting like 25 comments here and then your 25 responses later. Facebook still sees that as a successful post. I feel like waiting much more than 24 hours, you start to lose the person who made the comment, right? They're going to kind of forget that they even left the comment, and they're thinking about something else. And so replying at that time, they might pay a little less attention to it, but it's also a way to get them back to your page again, right? They were there the day before, now they're there the next day, and it gets them back. So I generally like to reply to comments within 24 hours if I can. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes, like right now, we have a post in my Facebook group that there's like 400 comments. We're not getting to them right away. We're trying to respond to all of them because it was specifically people asking for a link for a giveaway that we're doing. And it's taking a really long time because you don't want to reply really, really fast to a lot of comments because Facebook will turn off your ability to reply to comments for a period of time. And we don't want that to happen. So we're going really, really slowly. So some of them are going to sit there a little bit longer. But here's the thing to remember. Every time you do reply to a comment, it adds more juice to the algorithm. So here's an example. I have asked people like, hey, are you interested in this? Or I'll do some kind of post that creates a lot of conversations in the comments. People going comment. Something happens, I can't answer for 2 or 3 days. I just did this recently. I posted something on a Friday and I didn't answer them till Monday because I just didn't want to answer them over the weekend. And it got a lot of comments on Friday. So when I replied on Monday and I replied to everybody's comment, Facebook pushed it out into the algorithm again, and it got new life. So now we have new comments coming onto that post where we didn't, let's say I posted it Friday, we got comments Friday, maybe a little bit on Saturday, nothing on Sunday, but then we're getting comments again on Monday because of my replies. And then when I reply, people come back and reply back to me, and it's just feeding the algorithm. The algorithm sees that it's, oh, this is a juicy, wonderful post. Everybody seems to like it. And it just keeps pushing it out there. When the conversation dies, the algorithm really starts to die. And it can be difficult to keep a post high in the algorithm for a period of time. Eventually, everybody said what they wanted to say, and we move on to the next post. And that's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, you're not penalized. And in some ways, it's kind of good to wait. In other ways, it's good to respond right away. I don't lose sleep over it. I just try to make sure that everything gets a response because not only are we trying to work the algorithm, we are also trying to build the relationship with people on the other side. And if we are responsive to them, then they're going to say, oh, this is a real person. They actually take the time to respond back. I like the way they respond, etc. So it's not just about the algorithm. It's about the connection. So within a couple of days, I'm going to say, do it within a couple of days, and you're going to have good success. If obviously if it's I want to buy this now, try not to wait. But if it's just like, hey, we're having a conversation, I would try not to go much more than 24 hours. But if it does, it's not the end of the world. Just go in there and reply. If it's been 2 weeks, then people are like, where have you been? And that's almost. So if for some reason one really gets away from me and it's a week or 2 old, I'll let it go because I don't want to show. I'm just going to be like, hey, I just wasn't responding to that, and not I was super, super late. So within a couple of days. He also asked, should you like your own post? So if you see your business post on your personal account, should you like it? You can, it doesn't hurt anything. I wouldn't comment and try to be like cheeky where like, oh, this looks like an amazing deal or anything like that. People know, like your friends and family are on the page. I've seen some of my clients that do that. I'm like, that's desperation, right? Nothing hurts if you like your own post, but just know you're not helping it that much either. We really want interaction, people liking, commenting. And Facebook knows it's you, right? Really all you're doing is say, show me more of my posts. And you're adding, a tiny drop to the algorithm juice. It doesn't hurt, but it's not something I make a practice of. And then the last question was, sometimes you see where people are tagging other people, especially if you're running an ad, You've got Mary's name here and Mary writes somebody else's name below that. If you notice that name below that is all in bold letters, that's because that person was tagged, and that's a notification to the other person that Mary thinks that this is something that you would be interested in. Mary wants you to see this. So it's good that that's happening. That is a great way for new people to see your posts, for new people to follow your page and engage with what you have. You can totally respond to that. I think that you should. I think that you should find a way to respond to pretty much every comment that you get. And it can simply be, thanks for tagging. Thanks for tagging. See ya. Like if you were going to have an event and they're like, and you're saying, I'm having this sale this weekend and it's going to be great and it's on this date, and somebody tags somebody else, you can say, thanks for tagging. We'd love to see you this weekend, if you want to add that much, but at least thanks for tagging. I even go into the shares and I thank people for sharing. For the ones that I can see and the ones that I can reply to, I just say thanks for sharing. You can't see them all and you can't reply to them all, but the ones you can say thanks for sharing. The more you're posting and engaging, the better everything does. The algorithm loves it. The algorithm is like, yummy, yummy. This is exactly what we want. So don't ignore your comments. Make sure you're replying to them all. Have conversations. Try to do it within a day or two. Immediately doesn't hurt either. That's just adding algorithm juice, right? Somebody says thank you, say you're welcome. Try not to let them be the one to have the last word. That's not always possible. Sometimes I just let it go. But other times, if I have time, I'll go in there and do your welcomes, because even that is going to help push your post out to more and more people. And if you're running ads, replying to all the comments on the ads helps that ad become more effective. If Facebook sees that this is something people are really excited about, and they test that by likes, comments, clicks, all of that, then you're actually going to pay less per impression for that ad than if you had no comments at all. So the more comments you can have there, the better as well. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that clears things up. I know this is a little bit of a long video, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel too. If you guys have any other questions about commenting and replying to comments and how to reply to comments, just let me know and I'll make a video on that too. All right, bye.